Welcome back to Fractions. Fourth graders, we're going to continue working with fractions today. Yesterday, we got to the point where we were basically naming fractions. And today, we're going to try and get fractions that'll add up to one whole. So that's the goal today. So I want to think of this in terms of minutes. How many different ways can you think of how you would solve this problem? If you want to get to 5 minutes, you know that could be 1 minute plus 4 minutes, or maybe 2 minutes plus 3 minutes. You could do the inverse of these, or I guess it wouldn't technically be the inverse, but you could flip those around and you could have 3 plus 2, 4 plus 1. You could even do 5 plus 0 if you wanted, right? And so we need to use this idea when we're trying to figure out how to add fractions. And so last lesson, we really focused on this. And we said, well, 3/5 is the same as 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. Well, today what we want to think about, how many more fifths do we need to make one whole and to get to that equivalency bar, that one whole that we started with last week or on our last lesson. So the goal is by the end of today to be able to answer fill in the blank. How many more fifths would it take to get to 5/5? And you might know right now, and you're ahead of the game a little bit, and that'd be good. So today, what's really going to come in handy are either your fraction strips, or you're going to probably want to use your iTools in Think Central today. So we're going to focus on how many ways can you add to get to 5/5, right? What pairs of add-ins? So what we're going to take two pairs, and we want to be able to get to ultimately 5/5. So I have my 5/5 up here, and what we mean by this question is, what are the different ways we can do it? Well, we could take our 1/5 and we could add 4/5, right? And we know that's going to get me to my one whole, right? That would be the same as one whole. You can see that. So 4/5 plus 1/5. Or we can do, sorry about that. I accidentally cleared them, but I got them back now. So we said we could do 1/5 plus 4/5. Well, if you start with 2/5, well, now I have 3 more fifths that I need to add together. And so this could be my next two add-ins, 2/5 plus 3/5, right? And I can do it the other way too. And now I could take this, I could take one of my 3/5 and shift it over here. And now I have 3/5 plus 2/5, right? And so we're going to show that today. And we're going to show that in our workbook. And so I want you to we're going to do this work together. This is page 291. So turn to page 291, and we're going to do some circling or shading, whatever you feel works better for you. And I want to think about, what can I add up together to get to 5/5? And we want to do it in as many different ways as we can, right? And so, like I said, this is 291. So one way you could do it is you could say 1/5. And then I have these 4/5. And so I would say 5/5 is 1/5 plus 4/5, right? And then another way I did it, I said I had these 2/5, and then I needed to add these 3/5. So I said this is 2/5 plus 3/5. And I could keep growing my first circle a little bit bigger, and I could say, well, now I have 3/5, and I want to add in these last 2/5. Okay? And then, very similar to what we did first, except now we're going to take 4/5 to start with and just add 1/5 on it. And notice that these top numbers, oops, I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. These top numbers are always adding up to 5. 4 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 2 plus 3, 1 plus 4 will get you to 5. Okay, turn the page. I want you now to do that with sixths, right? So we started this by saying 1/6. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sixths. I'm going to circle my last 5 6, and you've got to circle all of them because we're including the whole, okay? And so if you want to do this in your iTools, you absolutely can. If you want to just continue the pattern that you see here, go ahead and pause the video now and finish this page up. Okay, if you continued on, I did a couple more for you, so you should have somewhere in here 2/6 plus 4/6 will get you to 6/6. 3/6 plus 3/6 will get you to 6/6, right? And then you should have these last ones filled in as well, but they should be very similar to the top two that we did. Okay, same pattern. Now, instead of adding up to 5, though, because there's 6 equal pieces, 1 plus 5 is 6, 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay? Think about why that's happening. Okay, now, this is where you're either going to want to use these images above, or I would even use my my iTools. And so right away on 293 now, you're just trying to find greater than or less than. So you're going to use these symbols inside the circle to tell which is greater than or less than. So you could find 1/6 and 1/8 up above. So here's 1/6 and here's 1/8. And I can see pretty clearly that 1/6 is bigger than 1/8. So I'm going to use my greater than. And remember, it opens up to the bigger number. So 1/6 is greater than 1/8. And a lot of times people remember this by putting in alligator teeth and saying the alligator wants to eat the bigger meal, so they're going to eat the bigger number, right? And it's so the point goes to the smaller number, which, be careful here, it seems backwards. 1/6 is bigger than 1/8. Trust the shape. Look at the shapes. Don't go just by the numbers, okay? We'll find a pattern this week as we go through this. But watch how easy this is with the iTool. So you have 1/6 and 1/8. Here's 1/6. Here's 1/8. Pretty clear right there which is bigger, right? And so I would use this website for each of these problems as you're working in your workbook. There's more. There's another set that's going to be helpful with this too. Okay, so finish 12 through 16. Now go ahead and pause the video. All right, check your work with the next two here. You should have 1/5 is less than 1/3 and 1/10 is greater than 1/12. And don't forget to finish these up as well. And then I want you to compare two unit fractions with the fraction the denominator, with the smaller denominator is. What happens when it has a smaller denominator? So the 6 is smaller than the 8. The 3 is smaller than the 5. The 10 is smaller than the 12. But all of those are following the same pattern. What is that pattern that is happening? Okay. This is also where it would be helpful to use your iTools. So you're going to order these from least, that's smallest, to greatest. Okay. And so I have 1/6, 1/8, and 1/5. So if I bring, here's 1/6, I need 1/5 and 1/8. So I need to look and see if I just stack them, I can tell. Okay, so here is my, oops, let's separate those. This tool right here can be helpful. That separates them. So I know that 1/5 is going to be my biggest. So this goes 1/8 is the smallest, 1/6 is in the middle, and 1/5. So the way that I write this on this page is 1/8 is the smallest, the least, so that's first. 1/6 came next, and 1/5 is my largest. Okay, look at the patterns with the denominators, especially here. All my numerators, my top numbers are all 1, but my denominator, something's happening here. Finish 19 and 20 and use those iTools. Same thing for the rest of this page. It's going to have you comparing, right? That has some word problems, but it's also comparing unit fractions. So use the shapes, find the shapes. Either look at this page, use this again, or go into your iTools. That's incredibly helpful. All right. So at the end, I want you to try and answer the puzzle penguin problem. Look for the pattern. See if you can figure out what is the pattern that we're recognizing after comparing all these fractions. There should be something you're seeing about the bottom number here. Okay. There is going to be some things central assigned to you. Make sure you're asking questions as you have them. Good luck.